Hello everyone, my name is Julita Aisha binti Ismail, and for today our group will be presenting about the topic United Nations UN Peace Enforcement and Conflict Resolution. What is the United Nations and Conflict Resolutions? Okay, it is the integral phase of the organization approach to global stability. Beyond traditional peacekeeping, the UN has adapted to the evolving nature of conflict, employing robust peace and enforcement strategies. This presentation will explore the nonsense landscape of UN peace enforcement and conflict resolution, delving into its crucial role in addressing the complex conflicts and fostering sustainable resolutions. So, the evolution of the UN peace enforcement capabilities reflects a proactive response to escalating threats to international peace. As conflict becomes more intricate, the UN has recognized the need for assertive measures to restore and maintain the stability. Next, peace enforcement goes beyond the traditional role of peacekeeping, involving the use of force when necessary to compare with the compliance to compare compliance with UN resolution. This approach underscores the organization's commitment to upholding its mandate and preventing the escalations of conflict into broader crises. The concept of conflict resolution is closely intertwined with the peace enforcement. The UN strives to not only tackle or focus on current challenges but also establish the foundation for long-term stability. We can see it through the analyzing interplay between peace enforcement and conflict resolution framework. We may understand that United Nations continuous endeavors to successfully negotiate the complex issues of global security and foster long-lasting peace. That is all from me. The next slide will be presented by my friends.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Putri Ayun Alisha binti Zainal Abidin, matrix number 072035, and I will explain about the UN Peace Enforcement. So, what is UN Peace Enforcement? Peace enforcement is the use of military force to compel peace in a conflict, generally against the will of the combatants. And next, I will explain about the situation where the UN has employed force to address immediate threats to peace. UN has employed force to address immediate threats to peace during an events such as Korean War and Gulf War. So Korean War happened in 1950 until 1953. It began when North Korean force, who is supported by Soviet Union and China, invading the South Korea. The UN started to condemn the aggression and action and call for member states to assist South Korea. A UN force, predominantly led by the United States, was deployed to repel the North Korean invasion. So the intervention aimed to restore peace and stability to the Korean Peninsula. So this conflict showcased the UN collective response to a threat to international peace and security, emphasizing the importance of multilateral efforts in addressing regional conflicts. So second event is the Gulf War. The conflict in this war arose when Iraq invaded Kuwait in 1990. The United Nations Security Council passed a series of resolutions, including resolutions 678. This conflict prompted a response from the international community under the auspices of the United Nations. The UN Security Council passed resolution, notably Resolution 678, which authorized the use of force to expel Iraq from Kuwait and to restore the peace. A coalition of nations, led primarily by US, launched Operation Desert Storm to enforce this resolution. So last but not least, I will explain about the example of successful and challenging peace enforcement missions. So for the successful, it can be seen through Timor-Leste case that happened in 2006. In this case, the UN integrated mission in Timor-Leste which is called UNMIT, have addressed post-election violence and supported the country in building stable institutions. And for challenging, it can be seen through Somalia case that happened in 1992 until 1995. In this case, they face challenging because of the government that not function so well and humanitarian crisis. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, let's dive into the success story of the conflict resolution strategy used by the UN. So, the UN has effectively resolved a conflict through a combination of these strategies. For example, the successful negotiations of the peace agreement in Bosnia highlight the power of comprehensive approach.
Assalamualaikum and hi. So today I'm going to explain about the successes and challenges of UN peace enforcement. So one of the key challenges faced by the UN in peace enforcement is finding the ideal balance between the use of force and diplomacy. This delicate balance is crucial in maintaining peace and security while also promoting dialogue and negotiation. A case study that exemplifies these challenges is the UN peacekeeping force in Rwanda in 1994. During the Rwandan genocide, the UN faced limitations and challenges in effectively responding to the escalating violence. Despite having troops on the ground, the mission did not receive the necessary support and resources to prevent the mass killing. This tragic event highlighted the difficulties in achieving a balance between the use of force to protect civilians and the diplomatic efforts needed to address the root causes of the conflict. On the other hand, there have been notable successes in UN peacekeeping efforts. One such case study in the UN peacekeeping mission in the East Timor. In 1999, after a referendum for independence, violence erupted in East Timor. The UN deployed a peacekeeping force to restore stability and facilitate the transition to independence. Through a combination of diplomatic negotiation, humanitarian aid, and security measures, the mission was successful in bringing peace to the region and supporting the establishment of an independent East Timor. The impacts while having the ongoing conflict in Syria remains a significant challenge. The UN has been actively involved in the efforts to achieve a peaceful resolution. The impacts of the conflicts has been devastating, with millions displaced and countless life lost. The UN has been working tirelessly to facilitate diplomatic negotiate and promote dialogue among the conflicting parties. While a complete resolution has not been achieved yet, the UN involvement has been instrumental in bringing attention to the crisis and providing humanitarian aid to those affected. In conclusion, the challenges of finding the balance between force and diplomacy, as seen in the case study of Rwanda, highlight the complexities of UN peace enforcement efforts. However, successes such as the peacekeeping mission in East Timor demonstrate the positive impact that can be achieved through a combination of diplomatic efforts and security measures. While the conflict in Syria remains ongoing, the UN involvement has had a significant impact in raising awareness and providing assistance to those affected. That's all from me.
The UN's four main goals are maintaining international peace and security, develop friendly relations among nations, achieve international cooperation in solving international problems, be a center of harmonizing the actions of nations in the attainment of these common ends. Peace enforcement operations are authorized through these 15 members council overseas measures that ensure the and determine the maintenance of international peace and security. The challenges of navigating diverse or geopolitical interests are culture and ideological differences, power dynamics, competing national agendas, and regional power struggles.
Hi, my name is Siti Ismahani binti Ismahan with metric number 073169. Now I'm going to proceed for the current relevance. Firstly, in Syria, the UN Special Envoy for Syria has been mediating talks between the government and opposition faction. The UN-led peace effort involved the Geneva process with multiple rounds of talks seeking a political solution. But humanitarian agencies like UNICEF and the World Food Programme has been providing essential aid like water, food and healthcare to a million of people affected by the conflict. This is important to alleviate the suffering of civilians that involved in this conflict. Next, Yemen faces a complex situation with the UN Special Envoy working to implement a ceasefire and facilitate peace talks. The UN-led peace process aims to bring varying parties to the negotiating table. The UN also managed the Yemen humanitarian response plan, addressing the urgent needs of millions of people affected by the conflict, including displacement, malnutrition, and disease outbreaks. Last but not least, for the Israel-Palestine issue, the UN plays a central role in advocating for a two-state solution through the Quarter on the Middle East, compromising the UN, EU, US, and Russia. The effort including support peace talks, monitoring development on the ground, and humanitarian assistance for the Palestinian territories. UN agencies like UNRWA has been providing education, health, and social service to Palestinian refugees. In conclusion, UN peace enforcement plays a crucial role in conflict resolution by employing military force to restore and maintain peace in volatile regions. However, its success depends on international cooperation, diplomatic efforts, and adherence to human rights principles. So striking a delicate balance between intervention and sovereignty remains a persistent challenge, emphasizing the need for continual refinement of strategies to address evolving global conflict.